Before I forget, that back door, that down at the bottom, that metal pipe that comes down, and then there's little blocks at the bottom. That box is connected to something.
energy here to share it with us. Are y'all ready to do some singing? Please rise and join us. Call out the holly, put up the tree before my circles again. Fill up the stocking, I may be rushing things, but deck the halls again now. Oh, we need a little Christmas, need a little laughter, need a little singing, ringing through the raptor, and we need a little stocking, happy ever after. We need a little Christmas now. Climb up the chimney, put up the brightest string of lights I've ever seen. Slice up the fruitcake, it's time we hung some tinsel on that evergreen bough. Oh, we need a little Christmas, need a little laughter, need a little singing, ringing through the raptor, and we need a little snappy, happy ever after. We need a little Christmas now. We need a little Christmas, need a little laughter, need a little singing, ringing through the raptor, and we need a little snappy, happy ever after. We need a little Christmas now. We need a little Christmas now. We need a little Christmas now. Y'all sound good. Everybody awake? Yeah. Happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome again to Unity of Music City. I got a couple of announcements for you. We got some amazing special music today from John McAndrew. He's gonna blow y'all's minds. I heard him warming up this morning, and it was so good. Oh my gosh, you got a treat coming. Okay, just a few announcements, and then we'll get to the good stuff. Okay, so today we've got a rainbow spiral gong meditation with Judy Bernard. That is from 4 to 6 p.m. Come do this if you can. Mind-blowing, body-blowing, energy-blowing, incredible stuff. Judy, dude, so good. Yes, your energy will just explode. So good. Yes, make sure you come to this and bring something to lay down on, or there will be chairs provided. It's going to be wonderful. And the Rainbow Spiral Gong has not come here before, has it?
No, it hasn't.
No, yes. Ooh, exciting, Rainbow Spiral Gong. It is a sound healing. It's going to be wonderful. Okay, on Friday, December 20th, everybody's encouraged and welcome to attend the coffee house / Christmas party with Dr. Judy and friends. Please bring a snack to share, Dr. Judy. Do you have something to say?
Hi.
That's it? You don't have to say anything back? Show up. Come on, bring your snacks. Get on in, y'all. It's gonna be awesome. Yay! And on Sunday, December 22nd, is the writers group at 12:30 in the Namaste Cafe. If you have a hankering to be a writer, or if you are already a writer, come on in, get inspired. Supposedly people are really getting some things done in this writers group, so should be cool. Show on up. On Tuesday, December 24th, is the Christmas Eve candle lighting service entitled A Light in the Darkness at 7 p.m. I have heard the plans for this. It's going to be awesome. Very cool. Please show up. It will be an amazing way to kick off Christmas. And on Sunday, December 29th, is the multi-generational burning bowl service, and that is at 11 a.m. If you haven't been to a burning bowl before, it's a really, really, really cool thing. You can write down stuff that you want to let go of in the upcoming year and burn it in the bowl and let go of it. It's a very, very, very cool way to start off your new year. And there's something really neat about taking the energy, about putting it into writing it down, that energetic flow of putting it on the paper, writing it down, and then sending it into the fire and just watching the smoke burn it up. So it's a really, really cool way to start the new year. You ready to sing with us again? Yeah. Let's do it. Come on. You know this one. Dashing through the snow in one horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. lunch at 11:30 studying The Gift of Change by Marianne Williamson. And on Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. through December 18th, they're still studying Breathing Underwater by Richard Rohr, and they're taking a new look at the 12 steps. And that's facilitated by Reverend Denise and Matt Eggleston. B?
Thank you.
Welcome.
So here we are on the third Sunday of Advent with our focus on love. Love being the most exhilarating and the most difficult part of being human. And so today, December 15th, 2019, we affirm, I am a part of the heart of all humanity. I am capable of being loving, caring, nurturing, and generous. Together, I am a part of the heart of all humanity. I am capable of being loving, caring, nurturing, and generous. What is the heart of humanity? The heart of humanity is a universal heartbeat that pulsates at the center of every human being. It is the place where God, divinity, has personalized itself as love. It pumps and drives the life-giving flow of love into all areas of our body, becoming the healing flow of love. It then becomes our job to allow that heartbeat of love to flow out into the world in places that may be full of fear or filled with darkness. The scriptures tell us that God is love. Ernest Holmes stated that the essence of all is love. Emerson said that love and God are synonyms. If God is love and love is God, and we are created in the image and likeness, then doesn't it follow suit that all of humanity is capable of being loving, caring, nurturing, and generous? That means in this now moment, you are capable of being loving, caring, nurturing, and generous. I am capable of being loving, caring, nurturing, and generous. A Course in Miracles says that there are two main emotions in life, love and fear. As a messenger of love, a light in the darkness, I must remember to turn up my light, turn up the flow of love. I am a part of the heart of all humanity. I am capable of being loving, caring, nurturing, and generous. And so now I light the candle, the Advent candle of love.
so as you begin to hear this heartbeat, just exhale. And drop those 18 inches to your heart. Just allow that heartbeat to awaken your heart, your physical heart, your spiritual heart. I am a part of the heart of all humanity. It's a matter of frequency. It's a matter of choice. It's a matter of being capable to align my energy with the heartbeat of the earth. It's a matter of being capable of aligning my heartbeat to the heartbeat of the solar system. It's a matter of being capable of aligning my heartbeat to the holy frequency of the universe. I am a part of the heart of all humanity. Listen to the heartbeat of all of humanity. The silence. In the silence. I am a part of the heart of all humanity. And when I attune my energy to the energy of Mother Earth, to the energy of the solar system and the galaxy that we reside in, and to the universal holy frequencies of life, abundance, freedom, I become capable of being loving, caring, nurturing, and generous. Love will be born within me.
Elton John. So, showed up this morning. I realized I didn't read any of the emails when I was here today, but you know, we managed to get along, and older I get, the less smart I am. But this song is called Like a Child, and we encourage you to sing along on the chorus. The chorus is like a child, I'm always learning. It does that twice. And the idea of this is that I'm not perfect. And really the only way I do learn and only way I become reborn is by making human mistakes. So this is Like a Child. I'm going to feature this young man. You just wait. One, two, three. children's choir.
So how many of you remember these? I actually ordered it this week on Amazon and got myself one because it goes with my lesson. And I'm going to pass it around while I'm talking, just in case there are some of you younger people that have never experienced one of those. But today's lesson is called the kaleidoscope of love. You're probably like, what does that have to do with anything? So what do you see? Tell me what you see. An LSD trip. What else do you see? That was the 60s. Energy, moving, always changing, expanding, never ending.
Falling into.
Is that falling into? Is that not who we are? The reason sometimes we think we are not that is because we have broken parts of ourselves sometimes. Deb Moore, you've got a big, powerful voice. Read that from back there. And you see who wrote that?
Sarah Bareilles.
I thought you would like that.
Yeah. The idea behind a kaleidoscope is that it's a structure that's filled with broken bits and pieces. And somehow, if you can look through them, you still see something beautiful. And I feel like we are all that way a little bit.
Can you see that? So here's the first place that you get to talk to each other for a minute about that. Or about the heartbeat in the meditation. Because I could tell some of you really grooved with that, and some of you did not know what to do with that at all and kept staring at me like something was going to change if I did something different. So just have a conversation with each other.
How are you?
So I'm going to ask you to push the pause button, but you're going to continue this in just a minute. When we began this journey 2.5 months ago, believe it or not. Oh, did you want that picture? There you go. It's okay. You're welcome. It is. I'm glad you know that. Yay! And Marcia, when everybody else gets that fact too, that it's all about me and me. You understand that? Love God and love your neighbor as who? It's all about me. Do I love me? That's really what today is about. And if I see only broken pieces, I've not created a kaleidoscope of love within myself. And sometimes we shine big floodlights on broken pieces for decades and walk around and tell everybody about them. See this? I'm broken. What if you really looked like that? Now Ryan's looking like an explorer.
Where the North Star.
Isn't that cool? Now see, everybody's going to go home. I'll have to tell Amazon they need to give me a cut. Because everybody's going to. And there are really bigger ones and more involved ones than that. This is what started our journey with the Wizard of Oz. And if you remember, all Dorothy really saw was the broken pieces. That's all she saw. She saw the darkness of what she did not like at her home. And she decided she wanted to do something different. So she went on this yellow brick road. And she found some friends to go with her that reminded her of her head and her heart and her gut. And that she had to connect those three things to even get to where she thought she was going. Where was she trying to go? Huh? No. She thought she wanted to go where? To the Emerald City to see Oz. Most of you have read this story. Did she get what she wanted? When she got there? Not really, until she got back home. What does that tell you about yourself? What would it take for me to see differently? And am I willing to let God or a higher power change me? Continue your conversation, and you're going to get up here and get ready to rip again. And Kenny probably wants to come up here and go with you. Kenny? Did you let Kenny know he had to come up in the middle of the lesson? Okay, cool. Yeah. In just a minute, when they're finished talking. So, most of you that know John McAndrew, and some of you have been with us for a long, long time, know that he's been coming to this church for a long time, in many of the locations we've been in. And he has written a song that is actually my very favorite song of all that he's written, and most all the songs out there in the world, because it speaks to what we're talking about today. The real voyage of discovery consisted not in seeking new landscapes, but in having new eyes to look at what you have. John?
Time just trying to understand all the suffering and misery that man goes through. Where were you when I needed you? And how come I didn't get what I needed? How could you let them treat me that way? If it's through each other we will see you. Let us see you now, now. Please forgive me for feeling this way. Please forgive me for blaming you the way I do. You say it's just that I need you. When black clouds come over, darken my skies. If it's how I look at things, give me new eyes. Oh, if it's how I look at things, give me new eyes. Black clouds come over, they darken my sky. Give me new eyes just for today. Ooh, give me new eyes just for today.
So do you think it's the way we look at things? Do you really think it's the way we look at things? So what are the hardest things we have to look at that we are going to have a new way of looking at them? Poverty. Injustice. Illness. And one of the parts of his song, if it's you we need you now. And if it's through each other, we will see you. That's the deal. It's through each other that we see God, that we see love. Because we're We are made in the image and likeness. Do we forget that? And so, those of you that are 12-steppers, this is the most amazing book that I've ever read, other than the big book. You're familiar with Richard Rohr, I know. And this last Wednesday night, we were on step 11. Sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood God, praying only for the knowledge of God's will for us and the power to what? Wow. That's what we talked about Wednesday night. How do I know that? How do I know God intimately? And you all can say prayer and meditation all day, but that's nebulous. What does that mean to you? I know God when I hear you sing that song, because I know it came through you. I'm like, wow. You know God when you look into each other's eyes. We're all sitting here trying to have some ecstatic experience with something out there somewhere. Right? When God is right here. and right there. This is something Richard Rohr said that we all talked about on Wednesday night. Prayer and meditation is about downloading new software. Your software is amiss if you think you don't know God. Your software is amiss when you're mad at somebody and hating them. Our software is amiss when we're not taking care of people that need taken care of. When you pray, you are supposed to take off the old thinking cap and put on another one. And then he says, because we have not been teaching people how to switch their receiver stations, we are producing a lot of neurotic and angry behavior as people cannot deal with the central issues of the day. Can you see that? How do we teach people that the answers are not up here? They're here and here and here. How do we teach people that? So we affirmed this morning, I am part of the heart of all humanity. And I'm going to tell you that that is, our humanity needs CPR bad. Compassion, patience, and reverence. I just want you to think about that. What would that look like in my life if I were more compassionate? What would it look like if I were more patient? What would it look like if I were more reverent? What does that look like? And before you push against any of those words, play with me for a minute. Compassion is the capacity to imagine what it must feel like to live in another's skin. How do you do that? How do you have compassion for someone that you dislike? I'm assuming I'm not the only person standing up here that doesn't have people in the world that they dislike occasionally. Some of you just don't want to admit it. But there are those people. How do I have compassion for them while I don't like them? How do I feel what it would feel like to be in their skin? Right? How do I do that? There is only one of us. I know that's a big esoteric thought, but you are all the child of God, the divine Christed being. And so we're all that. And so if that's the truth, then it should be easy, to see that in someone else. Even when it's someone that I'm going about. Compassion. Patience. Read that out loud.
The ability to breathe and be with what is in the moment.
How easy is that? Depends on what's in the moment, right? Yeah. Because if something in the moment is not what I want, I have no patience with it. Get out of here, right? Patience is the calm acceptance that things can happen in a different order than the one you have in mind. What does that mean for me in my life? Deb and Nikki, I'm going to play with you for a minute. Y'all just moved. Did everything happen in exactly the way that you had in mind?
Nope.
No?
It was better.
And the deal is, I've seen pictures on Facebook, so obviously they're in that house. Somehow or other it happened, and the dog and the kitty are happy, and you're happy. Isn't it interesting that we create what we think it's supposed to look like? And then we get unhappy because it doesn't look like that. Does that make any sense, really? No. But that's from here. What if I trusted Spirit to know better than me? How dare that? What if I had the patience to know that Holy Spirit has my back and Holy Spirit knows better? Maybe sometimes those things that I think are sad are really leading me to joy. I heard that in his song. Maybe those things that I thought were bad are really leading me further down the road to what it is my heart truly desires. Maybe. Reverence. Carolyn Bauer, can you see that well enough to read it? Read it for me, please.
To practice reverence is to look past the form and to see the sacred presence of God.
So for some of you, this is going to be uncomfortable. And so you can choose to not do it. But if you're brave enough, look in someone's eyes right now and look past the form and see God. Go.
Or maybe I do.
And we also have a couple of dogs in here, and it's easier sometimes with them than it is human beings. So, right, Sherry?
He doesn't want water, he wants the coffee.
So you may not be able to see this, but I know when we started this lesson, we talked about the things that it's hard to wrap our love around, justice and all those kinds of things. And yes, it is. Because we have different opinions on what should be. Albert Schweitzer says, I want to be a pioneer of a new renaissance, embracing the recognition of human rights, environmental responsibilities, and political interdependence. It would be based on the principle of reverence for life. What would our world look like if everyone, no matter what their political bent was, their spiritual bent was, whether they went to church or not, had a reverence for life? So talk to someone beside you about what you think that might look like, creating that in the future.
Well, right? Seriously, right? Yeah. Yeah. The word that comes to my mind is respect. People have more respect. Reverence for everybody who's part of it was huge.
I said it is a more focus for well-being.
People say respect is very nice. They say when we are just you can totally display somebody and not just do service to yourself and respect.
And I think when we look for reverence for every just giving thing so for this and you just have to respect life like that. Perhaps embraced, because it's how when something dies and shifts, that's when something.
When you get married, you have those.
So we should embrace the destruction, without the destruction, we don't get the return.
So can we begin to see that when we have a reverence for life, it will shift all of the institutions and organizations on life? All of them.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying.
Now, what that means is probably some are going to have to crash and burn. Because that's the way change happens sometimes. Is things that are not working have to crash and burn. And then create something new. So I want to leave you with this today. And this are the words of Marianne Williamson from The Gift of Change. What? Our greatest contribution to the world at this time is not just what we do, but who we become. It's the nature of our thinking that is forging a new consciousness. Just as the beginnings of terrorism were rumbling underneath the surface and thus below the radar for years before they burst into view, so is a new movement of love rumbling underneath the surface today. Can you feel that? Martin Luther King said, we have a glorious opportunity to inject a new dimension of love into the veins of our civilization. And all of us can participate in the process. Yes. Namaste.
So I missed some emails this week, and when I knew I was going to play here, about 9 days ago, I started to write a song for Judy and Denise. And even because I got some of the messages from Judy, and I texted her back on the wrong email, which is something I do quite frequently. The power of this divine stuff still shot completely through me, so that what I'm going to sing is exactly what they said. But I have been coming here a long time, and I can't think of two people that have influenced my life more and more positively. I can't tell you, I come here, I get so refreshed, and the lessons and the music and these two people. So this is a song, in the title, I titled it, Through Them to Me. So, I don't know how to express that without saying a swear word right now, so I won't do that. But holy cow. They are stronger than one. The truth gets much louder, yeah. Oh, and it sounds like fun. Sweet, loving words, they come pouring from her. And the song she sings, celebrate.
'cause God talks to her. And God sings to her, and God smiles to them too. Judy and Denise, especially chosen one to spread joy and grace. Ah, joy, grace, and love. And I hear God talk, and I hear God sing, and I see God smile all through them too. 'Cause God talks to her, and God sings to her, and God smiles to them, to you and me. And I hear God talk, and I hear God sing, and I see God smile through them to you and me. 'Cause God talks to her, and God sings through her, and God's been smiling for a long, long time through them to me.
Excuse us while we have a love fest. Y'all come on, take your time. You made me talk after that? Jeez. Can we please give another big hand to our special music guest? Making me cry and then having to talk. Would you please take your tithes and offerings and hold them to your heart? Join me in our prayer remembrance. I live in the midst of infinite abundance. I give freely and fearlessly to life, and life gives back to me. Would you please join us in the sacred walk of abundance up this way and drop your tithes and offerings here. Thank you.
I know, I guess.
Our souls are like ships on the sea of life. Sometimes, of course, we stray. And many times someone has reached for me just before I sit away. Let me be a light in the darkness. Let me be a light helping others find their way. Let me be a light in the darkness, shining brighter every day. Lean on me and I'll lean on you, whatever we're going through. For all the times that you've been there for me, I'll be there for you. Let me be a light in the darkness. Let me be a light helping others find their way. Let me be a light in the darkness, shining brighter every day, shining brighter every day, brighter every day. So we open our hands and our hearts and our minds, and we first bless these tithes and offerings. We know that they have been given from that space of love. And we begin to see ourselves differently in this moment as love. And then we're able to share that love with everyone that we come in contact with. And in that way, share light with them. Let us all be lights in the darkness. And so it is. Amen.
You know, we were talking about being messengers of love, and as evidenced by John McAndrew's beautiful song, I think we can all agree that Reverend Denise and Judy are such beautiful messengers of love for all of us. So thank you very much to John for sharing, and to Reverend Denise and to Judy for being such wonderful messengers of love. Would you please join me in the prayer for protection for the week? The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.